How can you build a proper relationship while dating overseas? Hey, Jason here. If you've not watched the channel before, or if you're coming back, I'm now 10 years in the game as an expat slash nomad. I am on my fourth country, third continent, here now in the southern region of Africa in Lusaka, Zambia. One of the things I've started doing along this 10 years is sharing with you what I've learned along this journey from a perspective of health, happiness, and wealth. And also, what I'm starting to do is, in case you're an expat or thinking about becoming an expat, sharing with you information on why you should be looking here in the southern region of Africa and specifically in Zambia. There are a lot of opportunities here, and this is one of those hidden gems that no one is actually coming to. And the few of us that are here, most of us are not talking about them. And so that's what I've started doing. So now I know a lot of the guys out there have been waiting for me to complete this series, go more deep into it. And I'm gonna keep doing videos about the dating aspect and how to do it properly. Like I understand it's not just the guys, but it's women out there too. Everybody longs for a meaningful connection, a meaningful relationship, something that's not transactional or something that's not just sex based. And you can build that. Now, I'm going to be transparent. You can not only build that here in Zambia, you can build that anywhere in the world, but you must have the foundations in place. Building a relationship, a real relationship, is just the same as building a house. If your foundation is cracked and crumbly, the whole thing is going to fall apart. And so that's why I'm doing this very slow, very methodically, and I'm breaking it down at a level that a lot of people are not talking about. Now, mind you, I was in a 10-year relationship, well, 10-year marriage, 15-year relationship with my late wife, Cece. The only reason I'm no longer with her is because she passed away back in 2022 on January 8th. And that broke me. I'm going to be honest with you. When you build a loving relationship, man, it takes work. You're really learning the good and the bad about yourself, and you're learning how to change yourself. And so that's why I'm sharing this information the way I'm sharing it. This is from years of marriage counseling, years of individual counseling. Like I'm a person who is very big on therapy. Even just this next weekend, I'm actually going out to South Africa for business ventures. I'm always about learning and growing from other people. And so that's why I'm doing this video the way I'm doing it. And one of the reasons that I took so long to get part 2 out is there's a lot of scamming going on here in certain parts of Africa, and it's from diasporas, people who coming from the United States, UK, and other parts of the world, and they're coming here and they're scamming out other Americans. Now I know you're like, Jason, what does that got to do with dating? It has a lot to do with dating. You're going to need money if you move overseas. At the end of the day, nobody wants to be with someone who is broke or someone who's not able to maintain their lifestyle. And I mean the individual, not you maintaining someone else's lifestyle. And so, because of that, when I hear these things about people being scammed and losing their life savings, people becoming sick, those things do take priority. Please hear me on that. Because the more information out there that is factual, truthful, and telling you how to do things by the law, it's going to make it easier and simpler for people to be able to come to different parts of Africa and actually enrich the lives of not only Africans, but enrich the lives of themselves. And so, whenever there's something like that going on, that will always set precedence for me because we have to understand we live in a cash based society. The society we live in is based off of money. Even our relationships are based off money. Like people want to be with people who you don't want to be with someone who you're going to be struggling each and every day, not knowing if you're going to be able to pay rent or if you're going to be able to afford food on the table. You just don't want to do that. And so that's why that was happening. So now that we built on the foundation in video 1, now you can still watch this video if you haven't watched the first video, but go back and watch it. We've done the foundation in that part. Now we're going to improve on the foundation and start putting the walls together of this house or you building a relationship. So, what is the first thing you want to do that now you got the foundation? Remember, the foundation is you understand your boundaries. You have to have boundaries so you do not get disrespected. This is one of the biggest issues in a lot of relationships. People are disrespecting one another. And if you don't set those boundaries very clear, you're never going to truly understand why someone is not respecting you. And it's going to create a lot of conflict. Also, we talked about you finding your value based system. You need to understand what is your value based system. And on top of your value based system, what parts of your life are conservative? What parts of your life are liberal? That is not, I'm liberal and that's I'm only liberal. I'm conservative, I'm only conservative. You have different aspects in it. Everything we do is in a fluid motion. We've been taught to think like, this is who I am, this is who I am. And the way our personalities work, it moves like this. Certain things we have different viewpoints about. And so I broke all of that down in the first video. So now that we've got the foundation fairly set well, it's been sitting, it's looking rock solid, let's start putting up the bricks for the wall. So the first thing that you want to actually do is now start figuring out what type of partner do you desire? Not what you want, what type of partner you desire. What you desire and what you want is not the same thing. And the reason being is a lot of times the things that we want are just the things that we physically see. Like you going through Instagram, you see the thick model, you see the person on the private jet, you see this person doing this and that. And you're like, man, I want that. I'm guilty of it too. I'm still a normal person. Like I'm being honest here with you. And this is where a lot of these so-called relationship experts on YouTube, the red pill guys, or what's the I can't remember the name of for the women who are telling women what to do. They're lying to you. They're not in relationships. They never built an effective relationship, and they're teaching you a system that makes zero sense. This is what I'm talking. The things that I'm talking about are the things that had our great great grandparents, how they were able to build effective relationships. It wasn't because they were special or the times were different. People actually had more time to cheat back then. You would have never known. But people were loyal to each other because they started these foundations, way their relationships where they were set on a good foundation and they built from there. And so you have to start figuring out what you desire. What you desire is the thing that you can wake up to every day. It's the thing that even when you're angry or you're fighting, you still love one another because there's respect there. Like that is what it is you desire. What are the personality traits you desire? Do you desire someone who is an entrepreneur? Do you desire someone who is in the career field, in the corporate America statute? Do you desire someone who is more nurturing? Like, what do you desire from your partner? And write those things down. One of the things that I think everybody should do, men and women, is do this. Oops. Oh, man. Got a mess over here. Get your notebook. Get your notebook. Just a very basic, cheap notebook. It don't need to be nothing fancy. You don't need to have all these scriptures or all of these affirmations on it. Just a simple ass notebook, and start writing down things of what you appreciate in your future partner. You have to start understanding that you can only attract to you the thing that you desire, because that's what you're going to start vibrating and you're going to attract to. Like, do you desire a woman that's in the club every weekend? Do you desire someone who is drinking? Do you desire someone who's a reader? Do you desire someone who likes to have family dinners? Do you desire someone who likes to have morning walks? What are the things that you desire? And start writing those down. Because as you compile this list of the things that you truly desire in your life, what it's going to show you, it's going to start giving you a map of how to find those individuals. Time after time, no matter what country I'm in, too many people think they're going to find their perfect ideal match in a club or at night somewhere. And I keep telling people, you're not finding the person that you're looking for at a nightclub. If you don't even like being in a nightclub, why in the hell would the person you're looking for be there? Like, please hear me on that. It sounds simple, yet people are always making these mistakes. This is why when people be like, Jay, you want to go out? No, I don't. What do I need to go out for? There's nothing that I desire that's going to be out past 1800 hours or 6 p.m. Nothing. I will never meet a woman that I'm truly interested in. The woman or the type of women that I personally like, guess what? They don't like being out at night. So we have to meet during the daytime. We do things during normal family functioning hours because the type of person I desire that is when they operate and move around. And so once you start figuring out the things that you truly desire in your partner, you're going to be able to say, like, you know what? If it's someone who's like reading, maybe I should start going to more bookstores. Maybe I should start going to more book signings. Maybe I should start going to book conventions. If it's someone who is maybe a foodie, maybe I should start going to food events. Maybe I should start going to outdoor markets where there's food being served. You're probably going to meet that person there. If it's someone that you desire that is really deep into certain types of spirituality and stuff like that, maybe you need to go start doing yoga events. Maybe you need to start doing certain type of classes around that. That is how you're going to find your individual. You have to go find that person. They're not just going to miraculously come to you and be like, hey, I'm here. You have to find it. You have to put in the work. And people are not explaining it. They're just telling you, you're the table. You're the table. You're not the table. Like I said in video one, the man isn't the table. The woman isn't the table. The relationship is the table. There are parts of you and parts of her that you all are going to have to get rid of to become able to sit at the table together. Just because you say, "Oh, I like you," and she says, "I like you," that doesn't make things just work miraculously. You have to figure out how to fit the pieces of your lives together to form a new life. A relationship is a symbiotic relationship. If you've seen the movie Venom, like Eddie Brock in the symbiote Venom, that is what that is. In the beginning, they didn't like each other, but they needed each other. And so until they created the Codex when Eddie was starting to pass away and Venom saved him because Venom started creating a connection for him. What happened there, if you've seen the last movie, the movie The Last Dance, and I know this is crazy referencing a Marvel movie to a relationship, but really think about it. It's a symbiotic relationship. Venom sacrificed a part of him to build that Codex. And when he did that to that Codex, Eddie sacrificed a part of him to be alive completely with Venom. And that's the same way as a relationship. You're sacrificing parts of yourself to be together. Even now, with me dating again and with the girlfriend that I have, I sacrifice parts of me and she sacrificed parts of her. A lot of people don't understand it, but that's what it takes to be in a relationship. And it doesn't matter what the outside naysayers say. And that goes into the second part of the building the walls of your on your foundation. When you're in a relationship, you cannot give a damn about what anyone else is saying. They do not matter. All outsiders do not matter. Only thing that matters is you and the person that you're trying to build that relationship with. Now, as long as it isn't someone toxic, it isn't someone that is abusive emotionally or physically, then you cannot listen to outside people. And on part of that, of not listening to outside people, is don't tell people about your relationship, good or bad. You're supposed to protect that. Your relationship is your relationship. It's not other people's business. One of the biggest problems now in this digital era that we live in, everybody want to post on social media. Oh, my man did this. Oh, my woman does this. Oh, she's submissive. Oh, he takes care of me. That's not people's business. All you're doing when you're doing that, you're just giving people a fuel to the fire. They're just waiting for something to go wrong. They're waiting for things to collapse so they can be like, I told you so. I knew it. Protect your relationship. Keep it private. People can know that you're in a relationship, but people don't need to know who is with, what they're like. They don't need to know the good or the bad. It's none of their business. It's only between you and that individual. You all are coming together for a reason. So there must be some mutual ground there for you all to come together. So please remember that. Protect your relationship. And I know I have a few married people that's in the that watches the content. If you're married, please let some of the single guys and women know if what I'm talking about is true or not. I know a lot of times people are like, "Yo, you're coming from a different era, guys." My wife and I, we met back in, let me see, 2007. Like, that wasn't that long ago. Yeah, it's going on almost 20 years, but that's not a long ago. That's not a different generation. We both grew up using the internet. We met on a dating site. Cece and I actually met on Plenty of Fish. Most people don't know that. We met on a dating site. And you know why we met on a dating site back then? Because neither one of us liked to be in clubs. We didn't like to be out at night. We knew the person that we wanted to be with were not going to be in those settings. Now, dating sites have changed now. There, a lot of them have changed to a hookup culture and things of that nature. And so you have to be a little bit more careful of them, but you can still possibly find a good person on there. You just need to use more discernment. And so just be mindful of that, okay? And so, like, I'm not coming from some era of we was match made or it was a what was those marriages where we our families put us together. Like, that's coming from a different generation. We had to figure things out on our own. We had ups and downs, and we was dedicated and committed to actually building the relationship and making the relationship work. And then that goes into the third part is to truly get into a relationship, you need to be committed. Like I tell people all the time, when CC and I first talked, one of the things that we talked about in the beginning was if we were ever to get married, divorce is not an option. I don't believe in divorce. She didn't believe in divorce. And I told her straight up, I was like, look, I don't care how much we're angry at each other. We can be at a point where we're hating each other. I will go through any type of therapy, any type of treatment. I am willing to do whatever it takes to make a marriage work. I'm not willing to marry someone and that person is willing to give up. Because one of the other things I let her know up front, I was like, look, one of my biggest boundaries is do not put your hands on me. I do not put my hands on women. Do not put your hands on me. I have zero tolerance for domestic abuse, and that goes for both sides. I can't stand men that beat women. I can't stand women that put their hands on men. I don't care what's going on. We will never cross that line. And that was something she was like, I feel the same way. And one of the things she expressed to me was, I do not. She does not like drunks. She was like, hey, seeing alcohol abuse growing up, I'm not tolerating it. And I was like, growing up seeing drug abuse, I'm a control freak. So don't worry about that on me. Like I may get tipsy, I may get drunk sometime, but it will never become a problem where it's out of control. And that was the truth. Majority of it, I think, our whole 15 years together in a relationship, I was only drunk around her, I think, two times. One was at Great Wolf Lodge. We went for a Halloween party with her. It was us, her sister, and a couple other people, which was really cool. And then it was a New Year's Eve in Colombia that I went out with some friends, and that was my last time being drunk. Any other time we were drinking, it was like if we had a toast together, maybe a glass of wine, or if we was on the cruise ship and we would share the drinks of the day. But that was it. And we respected those boundaries up until the day that our vows were fulfilled, until the day she passed away in my arms in Colombia. And so don't think that the things that I'm telling you are outdated or stuff like that. Is these are the ways to create a relationship. The problem with the new era of dating is people are not telling you the truth. You have guys out here telling you nonsense. Like, I'm going to tell you straight up, as a man, you need to be focused on also how are you going to be a provider. Provider doesn't just mean money. Like, this is one of the biggest issues. Provider does not mean money. Provider means emotional support, cheerleading, supporting your woman's dreams, her goals. How are you going to provide for her in those moments? It's scary out here for women, guys. I know, like, a lot of people think like, oh well, so the world is shifting to where it's more made for women. It is scary for women. If you actually sit down and you would listen and talk to a woman, and she explained to you some of the harassment, the silliness that goes through corporate America and her going through her jobs, you will be shocked. I was in an outrage when CC told me one day. I was like, "You really dealing with this nonsense, and you worked yourself up to this level, getting this level of a degree? It is scary out there. Women need support, but support doesn't mean just finances, and also support doesn't mean Gucci and Louis Vuitton. Let me just say this: before you should be buying Gucci, Louis Vuitton, and all these nonsense name brands, you need to be having generational wealth. I know there's this whole keeping up with the Joneses lifestyle out there now, but that goes back to, is that someone you desire? Do you desire someone that cares about what they're wearing on their body instead of the security for the future? As a guy, you need to be focused on what you desire. That's why I say write it down in your journal, and then you'll start seeing where to meet these people. like I remember when I was in South Africa, everybody was like, "Oh, be careful of the slay queens. The slay queens, man, they'll get you." I was like, "No, they're not." And you know what? To this day, I have never seen a slay queen in South Africa. I don't go out the hours they operate. I don't go to the places they go to. I met great, wholesome women throughout South Africa. I met women that you could build good homes with, good relationships. I wasn't out there. Like, certain types of individuals only operate at certain times. The same way criminals operate in the dead of the night. People who are into that party lifestyle, they're not moving around in the middle of the day. You're not going to catch them at the grocery store. You're not going to catch them at a book fair, a book convention, a book signing. You're sure as hell not going to catch them at a professional development event. Like, start changing the places that you go to. Change the arena of the dating pool that you're in. And please be mindful of that, because that will save you a lot of heartache. Now, last part with building, and this is the shell for the walls. The last part of it is genuinely talk to yourself and ask yourself, what type of woman or what type of man am I willing to spend the next 10 to 20 years of my life with? Just 10 to 20 years. Because if you can make it 10 or 20 years, you can make it a lifetime. That's fact. Do you want someone who's going to constantly grow with you, push you to grow? Like, start figuring those things out. Like, you have to have a future plan of the type of person that you want to be with. You have to, if you saw my video about visioneering, you have to visioneer a relationship also. So, like, for me, I visioneer, I always want a woman that I can grow with. I don't want someone that's stagnant. I don't want someone that's afraid to learn new things. Even now in the relationship that I'm in, we read the Bible together. We read passages out of the Bible and we talk about it and we break it down on what do we think this means. Like, that is something that is important to me. Now, am I a traditional Christian? No, I'm not. But I do study the Bible because I believe there's different principles, different philosophies in there that teaches us how we can grow, how we can become better people. Also, another thing that I prioritize is I care about someone who is an entrepreneur. I don't really want someone who's into corporate America. I've met wonderful women in corporate America and they're great catches, but they wasn't for me because I couldn't see myself in a future with someone who's going to always need to have to ask for their time, or work is so important. Like even right now, let's say if I want to hop on a bus and go to another city, or if I want to go catch a plane ride somewhere, I can call my girlfriend and be like, "Hey, pack a bag, let's go," and she's able to do that. Like, that is something that is important to me. So really think about those things. Like, for the next 10 to 20 years, what is the type of person that you want to be with? How would you want that life to look? And then you keep doing this every few years. Like, you keep expanding on this. And then when you get into a relationship, you do this with your partner. This is one of the biggest mistakes most marriages in. One person continue to grow and one person becomes stale. Grow together. Remember, I told you the table is the relationship. The relationship can become bigger. You can eat at a bigger table anytime that you want. Your table doesn't have to always be the same size. This is one of the things that really made CC and I work very well. We were always doing individual therapies as far as expanding and growing ourselves, and we were also doing couple therapy, expanding and growing ourselves. Now, next video, what I'm gonna do in part three, I'm gonna expand on. We're gonna start putting in the windows, the trimming, the doors, and all of those things. Some of those things are gonna look like how do you actually grow the relationship? Because no one talks about this. Growing a relationship is going to look a lot different than growing yourself. You don't want to lose your individuality. However, you do want to grow your duality with your partner. And so, if you have any questions or comments on part 2, just leave those down below. Part 3 will be out. Let me see, what is today? Today is Wednesday, I think. Part 3 will probably be coming out Friday. If it don't come out Friday, it's going to come out Monday because I am recording a lot of videos ahead of time because I do want videos pre-recorded while I'm in South Africa because I might be doing a little bit of traveling, getting a little bit of the nomad blood back in me, but I'm not for sure yet. But if you have any questions on this part, let me know down below. If you want me to do a live video where it's a Q&A, going through questions, answering your questions live about relationship, how to build on it, and things like that, let me know down below. Also, when you do that, let me know when is a good time for you. What I'll do throughout the comments and the messages that I get, I will consolidate and see, okay, this is the best time. And then I'll put something out in the community, let you know, hey, this is going to be the time, date and time that I do this. It will most likely be on a weekend because it's just easier to connect with a lot of people. Because I know I have a lot of people from different parts of the world. And that way you can actually just put a calendar reminder, and that way you can actually go on there. And what I will do is I'm going to be on the computer doing that one. And that way I can be in the backup with Streamlabs. You can come up on video, ask questions live on camera if you're comfortable with that. Because I know this is important. I really do. I know a lot of people want to be able to build effective relationships. And I know a lot of my brothers out there are really yearning to find that person. Um, and so, like, I want you to be able to find that person. I think love is a beautiful thing. I think healthy marriages are a great thing, especially when you build a great marriage with that one person that you just build together, man. Like, as a guy, if you truly, really want to grow in life, it's going to happen a lot faster when you have a woman by your side. Because when you respect and value her input and she feels safe and secure to give you her input, she will push you to places that you never even thought was possible. And then outside of that, just remember this: I'm Jason, and success is simple once you know how.